Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at people who broke the bro code. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. Best friend in high school was suicidal during our early college years. I'd been up on the phone talking to him until 2 a.m. more nights than I can count, and it didn't seem to be helping. So eventually I called his parents. He was put on suicide watch and was not happy about it, but I think it was the right choice at the time. I felt selfish because I was getting tired of these phone calls, and I totally betrayed his trust. His relationship with his parents was complicated too. I was just a college sophomore at wit's end though, and it seemed like the only way to help him. I spoke to him 3 years later, and his life seemed to be going better though. Nice! It all worked out in the end. I think this person did the right thing. This friend is a real one. He wanted to help. He didn't ghost his best friend. He didn't ignore his best friend. He genuinely wanted to help. My first love's best friend told me he was cheating. Granted, he held back a bit too long, but he collected evidence in case I didn't believe him and told me. And it wasn't a ruse to try to date me instead. 20-ish years later, and he and I are still friends. I made out of that relationship with a true friend. I don't think I could have broken free of my feelings in that relationship without his help. His friendship with my ex was never the same. He broke serious bro code by being a stand-up guy. I think it's better to be a good person than to be a good friend to someone who's not even a good person. I feel like bro codes shouldn't even be a thing if your friend is cheating. You know, they're like, oh my god, you broke the bro code by telling her that I was cheating on her. The bro code isn't made for these kind of things. Jeez. Best friend kept dating awful guys in high school into college. She'd been with one guy for nearly 6 months, and he was finding every excuse to skip plans with her. She found evidence he was cheating multiple times. It was tearing her apart, but she didn't want to lose him. On their 6-month anniversary, he stood her up again. She called me crying and asked me to come over. I lied, said I had to run an errand first, but would be there in a few hours. Instead, I DM'd him, telling him to cut this shit out and break up with her already, because she won't do it. He confessed that he was scared she would become suicidal, which was a valid worry. She often told him he was the only reason she was still alive. I told him that this is worse, that stringing her along is torture, and that when it's over he can leave and I'll be there to help her. He broke up with her a few minutes later via text, then blocked her. She called again. I acted slightly shocked and dropped everything to go to her. She did fall into a suicidal state, but she's still alive, and her life got immensely better after that. We are no longer friends because she nearly got me fired last year, but I do wish her well. Well, that was a roller coaster, but this person meant the best for her friend. You know, stop stringing her along because it's gonna get worse in the long term, and I'll be there for her. But I guess sometimes friendships don't last, even if you do everything to try to save the person. It doesn't last because at the end of the day, if they don't see your efforts, if they don't appreciate your efforts, then no matter what you do, it doesn't make a difference to them. Snitch on my bro boss because I found out he was sexually harassing a receptionist, and it had been going on for years. Partners in the business dissolved, got laid off a year later due to the business decline from loss of clients. Doors closed shortly after. Our receptionist is a great person and she didn't deserve any of that shit. No regrets though. The person I snitched on had been a mentor to me and a friend, but I realized deep down we are very different people. Boss went off the deep end afterwards, divorced, sold house, turned into a bitter and hateful conservative, and then moved to Thailand for some reason. What a creep. Moved to Thailand for some reason. We all know why. Jeez. Amazing. This wasn't even like the bro code. It's just what a normal person should do. If you see someone get sexually harassed, yes, you should do something about it. Dating a close friend's ex with full honesty and everyone's consent. Sounds like a disaster waiting to happen, but sometimes it works out when people communicate like adults and no one feels betrayed. Wait, that's good. Nice. Yeah, nice. I feel like if the breakups were mutual and feelings just fizzled out from both sides, then I guess it's fine for everyone. A friend of mine was always trying to cheat on his girlfriend, who I was also friends with. I stayed quiet for way too long, even though it didn't sit right with me. Then one day he asked to borrow money to take some random girl out on a date. I told him he'd have to get his girlfriend to text me and say she was cool with his date. Shockingly, he actually tried to make that happen. He told her it was just a group hang, but she already had a feeling he was up to something. She called me and asked if it was a group thing or a date. I told her the truth. She dumped him. About a week later, she texted me something like, I've decided that you're going to love me. I think you're already close, but it's going to happen. We've been married for 14 years now. She's still my best friend. She's an amazing person inside and out. Every day I get to watch our daughter turn more and more into this incredible woman, and I couldn't be happy with the little family we have. Oh. That's cute. I guess your soulmates are always lingering around, but you just don't know who it is. Seriously. I love these stories. It's just men being good people. I simultaneously upheld bro code and broke girl code. I just started dating my now wife, and her roommate was not a particularly stable person. She was going on dates with this one guy who was head over heels for her, but she was really just stringing him along for free meals and attention. Her actual feelings were towards this other guy. One night, guy one came over to the apartment with flowers because they were supposed to go on a date, and roommate is just sobbing over guy two who wouldn't give her the time of the day. My girlfriend is in the living room with her trying to console her, and guy one ends up with me in my girlfriend's bedroom. He asked me what he should do. Having had a picture of what roommate was like, and having recently gotten out of an abusive relationship myself, I said, honestly, bro, run. He was clearly spooked enough that he made some excuse, left as soon as possible, and I never heard from him again. Where I messed up was potentially putting my girlfriend in harm's way, because if he had gotten back to roommate that I told guy number one to run, my girlfriend would have been in a world of pain. Overall, I don't regret my decision, but I could have handled it better. Even though my girlfriend was a little mad at me at the time, she saw where I was coming from and still agreed to marry me down the line. I think that's even more attractive. Seriously. I think I would find my partner more attractive if they did this, because it just shows that they're a good person and they know what's right and what's wrong. One of my friends is a notorious cheater. He got a new girlfriend. She genuinely loved him, was cute and just a good person. I accidentally made a mistake that revealed he was cheating on her, and he talked her into staying, so I called her and told her about his other girlfriend just to make sure she understood he wasn't going to stop cheating. She left him for real and thanked me. I hope they're not friends anymore. Yeah? Before my wife and I got together, she had dated one of my former roommates who was also a longtime friend. One day, she and I were hanging out with the third mutual, and it came up that he had been telling all of us they were on a break, and she went ballistic on him over it. Mind you, we didn't develop chemistry until weeks later, but he saw it as a betrayal regardless. Married a couple of years now with a kid, no regrets. So he was telling other people that they were on a break, but they weren't actually on a break. And he feels betrayed that his friend told his girlfriend that. I can't believe some guys are using bro code to like cheat or to just lie to their girlfriends. Why? That's not what bro code is for. Married the girl all of my friends slept with, and I mean like everyone slept with her. We ended up hitting it off, and one thing led to another, and I married her. Yo, that's crazy. I love it though. I love it for him. I love how he saw past that and he just loved her for being her. That's rare. That's a rare find these days. Well, that's it for the video. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.